Oh, they hit go. Okay, okay. Uh,
All right, let's go. YouTube intro.
uh, we are not playing the game. We're watching because they told us we were shit, and they didn't want us on their team. So here we are. Uh, okay. Royal, go over 32's comp, please.
Okay, we've got a KSC player in the Moscow. We've got a Marsili. We got Ohio as our BB. Salem, Svay, Somaliland, and a 42 for their 2DDs. With our
I'm
PN.
curious about the Z42. Like, did they pick it like just because they knew they were playing this map, or did they pick it like because this is actually part of their like legitimate strat? Uh,
I would be interested. I think they're going to shove 42 into C, probably
yeah.
with the Smallland. Maybe they try the gank.
Like I can see that, but like I said, my question is like, did they pick the Z42 for that reason specifically because they knew they were playing this map, or is this part of their strat and they have a role for it on other maps? We'll see that later. But for right now, on the other side of PN, we have a bungo, a big titties bungo, Mosva, a Sfei with a what the fuck is that? Whatever.
It's an
Uh,
interesting camo.
Utrecht and a Marseille and destroyers. They are running a Daring and a Lushun. I actually don't
Interesting that.
know the restrictions for this. I know Colombo is banned, but I don't know any of the other restrictions or bans. So I'm just gonna assume that these guys are a lot smarter than we are, and they know the restrictions. And these are or not tournament legal, but these are legal comps. Let's see. They're not. Are they going to send their Salem into C?
I think they're going to send Salem into the E7 Rock, which is a
Yeah.
good play, honestly. Against a lot of teams, they wouldn't expect that hard Salem push. And with
Yeah.
the super heal plus radar, they can pretty easily hold that cap
Yeah.
down. The 42 is going to A, which is interesting. Svei is going over there, which is pretty
Which
normal
makes
on the other
sense
side.
for a Sfei, yeah. Uh
Yeah,
they just remember that PN is running an Utrecht right now, so if they can get even semi-consistent spotting on that Salem, that Utrecht's going to have a field day over
Yeah,
there.
on the other
Even
side, it looks like for their kite, we've got a Svei and Illusion. That seems
yeah.
pretty standard.
Yeah, it's I'm assuming that the Lushun is mainly there just because it's not restricted. Uh let's see. Yeah,
No,
they are
Lucian
sent
is pretty strong,
uh
especially with restrictions. You
yeah,
know,
with restrictions I can see it. And yeah, they are sending their Salem. Salem was not detected yet, but his AA is still on and he's about to get balanced by an Utrecht here.
not
No.
taking that much damage. Smallland out on the wide 910 line against a Daring, which will be interesting to see how that Daring plays against the Smallland.
Oh, and I can't even see the
42 in the
build.
cap at
Yeah.
A.
That makes sense. They're letting their Sfei be the one to get the cap, which is fine. This Lushun could be in for an interesting time, though. Look at this. He's about to face check a Z42, potentially in front of a Sfei.
He is making the ideal decision to kind of nose his face into that rock, fighting that 42.
Okay,
But
actually
he does
none
have
of
a
the...
Svei backing him up.
Okay, there's a few
Interesting
mods
that
that aren't
the
working.
PN32 Svei did not go out towards the 3 line. That's what I would have done personally in that situation.
Zeka, can you stream?
No.
How dare you?
Uh, okay, that Z42 actually just got wrecked. Never mind.
Yeah, 42, interesting. Salem did get the cap at C. Very interesting. Ohio is in a standard battleship spot, just mirroring their Bungo right now. I will say the Bungo is a very interesting pick from PN
Oh, I
here.
need to throw the stream up. I mean, Slim, like, we did see Slim from CC's clan bring Bungo to clan battles, and honestly, I think Bungo, even though it is a bit of an interesting pick, as long as it does what they want it to do, which in the case of a battleship in general, as long as it can hit its shot and bitch slap people from across the map, uh, they should be able to get away with it, as long as their battleship player is up to par.
Which Rigel
They
is like halfway there.
Faye is smoking now,
Yeah,
42,
and
sitting right in front of him. Interesting, though, there's torps coming in
yeah,
from the Svei. We're going to see how those
yeah.
kind of balance
Don't
out that.
I don't see the hydro rings from the Z42, but it looks like it should be okay. But I also want to point out that the Z42 actually went into the phase smoke even for a few seconds, which if you're ever in this type of position, you want to try and avoid, because what ended up happening right there is when the Z42 went into the phase smoke screen, that meant that both the Sphe itself and the Z42 lost line of sight on PN's Lushun, which immediately allowed him to instantly go dark when he would have otherwise been spotted for an additional 20 seconds, until, at least up until he started shooting at an Ohio.
Over at C, we've got the Marsili in the cap now, mirroring their Salem. Interesting choice to shove the Marsili in instead of the Utrecht. I think there I would have rather sent the Utrecht in and sent Marseille out wide on the 10 line.
I mean, uh, I think either one of them would have worked. I think they went with the Marseille just because that was the ship that was there. Uh, but yeah, I think the Utrecht also would have been a good choice to shove into the cap there. But the Marseille, like, no matter what they put into the cap there, like, as soon as you have a ship in there in this type of position where there's an Ohio, like, just right around that other side of that island, this Marseille is basically committed. He is going to spend the rest of the game right here, or at least up until 32 makes some kind of mistake. But
Which, I mean, they did make a mistake on the 10 line. I mean, they lost their Moskva, and now the Smolensk is really low. It's going to be very difficult for them to win this side now.
yeah,
I think they need to, at this point, they need to shift the Ohio all the way to the 10 line. But
yeah,
he's getting
like,
focused out.
I mean, what PN can do right now is they can just have this Marseille hydro the Salem, and then the Utrecht just sits roughly where that Moskva is on this island, and then just Dutch ovens him for the next 10 hours.
I mean, honestly, at this
Also,
point, I would
look
tell
at the
my
bungo.
Mars.
Look at the bungo. The Salem is coming out straight in front of the bungo, but the bungo guns are not pointing that way. The Salem
Yeah,
gets away with it.
no. I would say at this point, the Marseille, I would be telling my Marseille, you need to push that Salem even if you trade him out with a Ram. That's
Yeah.
huge right now. You gain C and you allow your Moskva and your Utrecht to push around because they're not going to be getting permalit. We've pushed the small end back. I think your daring can be super aggressive here.
Yeah, I mean, the daring is low health, to be completely fair. If I was this daring, I would not be super keen on pushing into a Smolensk, like you see happening right here. Smolensk radared, and the daring is about to be detected by it.
Yeah.
And even though the daring is on 10k health, fighting a Smolensk in a daring is a very dangerous proposition, especially when there's Marseille right behind it as well. But if they can at
Yeah.
very least trade out these two destroyers, then that will still be a points neutral exchange, and then it'll just be the Utrecht and the Moskva to run at the Marseille, who is stuck bow in now, to punch said Marseille in the mouth.
Well,
Gets
a
away with
little
it.
update here. They lost the small end, and the Marsili did trade out the Salem. Unfortunately, went down to the Bungo, but now PN is in a position to shove Bungo into C, shove their Moskva up. I mean, PN 32 here really has no win con at this point.
I mean, I think this bungo is literally just purposely not capping just to flex. I think that's what we're seeing right here. Uh, I mean, they're yeah, the Lashun and the Sfei. There goes the Marseille, who had to gamer turn in front of a Moskva, and that went about as well as you would expect. Uh,
He's
and
not
now,
not capping because he's flexing. He's not capping because he had a backup because he hit the island.
I like my version better. Anyway, yeah, like there's pretty much nothing that 32 can do here because they lost like 1,000 ships for, well, not really for free, but they just lost so many ships, and that snowball effect piled up really fast.
I mean, I think PN32's biggest mistake here was on A. The 42 lost so much health early on that could have been avoided. I think that Svei, he needed to be out way wider. He needed to be out on the 4 line. And he needed, honestly, what they should have done is they should have mirrored PN. They should have put their Svei into A while the enemy Svei was in B, and then have 42 kind of play, that 5 to 6 kilometers in front of that Svei.
Yeah, I don't think that the Z42 and the Sfei is really what lost them this game. What ended up happening was that PN just straight up played better, and they were able to execute their strategy better than 32 was. And it also helped that they had the Utrecht, which also countered their Salem position pretty well, at least for the time that the Utrecht had the Dutch oven range on it. And then letting PN get the Marseille into C as well. That didn't help them, and they did end up trading out the Salem for the Marseille, which is fine if they still had ships on that side. But once that Salem was gone, there was nothing on the 910 that can stop the Utrecht and the Moss from just walking onto the foreheads of the Smolensk and the Marseille, because the Salem was gone, so that threat of crossfire was eliminated with it.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I think we should go hop down to PM32's VC probably first and just ask them what their strategy was there.
Yeah, we can do that. Hold on. Okay, yeah. We can hop down to PN32's.
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. I don't know if that was just our DD wasn't far enough south because of the Moskva radar, possibly getting trapped, and then, obviously they have an Utrecht. Every time the enemy has an Utrecht, we're just going to be at a disadvantage, is what I'm seeing in every single battle, because we
Also,
don't have
golden
the ability
glue
to...
exists. Golden glue also exists for the Utrecht as well, so there's 2 Dutch ovens there. Also, I have a legitimate question for you guys. Did you bring the Z42 like specifically for this map because you knew you were going to play on it, or is this like an actual
I'm sorry,
like
what?
the Z42 that you brought? Like, did you bring that? We expected that you were going to just shove it into contested and have it hydro the cap for the next 10 years. But did you
Sorry, who's talking?
I don't know
that
who
guy.
this guy is.
I don't know either, but anyway, did you bring this Z42 specifically because you knew you were playing this map?
Hey, we're gonna
No.
No,
talk
no.
about
That was just the comp
together.
that we had.
That's just
So
what
hop
you
outside,
had,
Barry.
the ships you
We
had
going
ready on
upstairs,
hand.
Rigel? I think we're going upstairs.
All right, we'll finish this later. See ya.